Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me. Can you guys hear me very well? Everybody? Hear me okay? Thank you guys for having me. My name is Dr. Scott Chelson. Actually, I'm the Director of Student Transitions and Assistant Professor here at NSU College of Pharmacy. I've had the opportunity to travel the nation and speak to multiple professionals and professions, from engineering to dental to medicine, and just strictly business, about some of the topics we'll discuss today. I actually work locally with law enforcement officers, and we work on wellness programs with dental groups, and we really see the experts in lowering infection and lowering the body's symptoms when it comes to being exposed to certain things like stress, chronic stress, and how important it is you guys are in these wellness programs for law enforcement, which never crossed my mind. And it's a beautiful time for you guys to be in your industry. Besides and despite all of the things that you may hear, a lot of the traditional things that you see in medicine are actually being replaced by very innovative techniques, technology, and you guys are finding so many ways to engage with your patients. But in order for us to figure out where your profession is actually going, we do have to start with some of the facts. And some of those facts begin with some of your patients. And we see some of the barriers that exist within the profession, right? Perceived financial value, right? Or opportunity. People don't know about a service and they hear about these expensive services are all cash. They're going to think it's expensive, right? It's just natural. And there's also perceived value, especially when you see electric toothbrushes, water picks, right? Whitening at home and all these self-treatment. We see the same thing in pharmacy. It happens all the time. We get the doctors at home. And a lot of times as well, we hear about the stories as outsiders from your profession that, you know, I got there for a cleaning and ended up being sold $1,000 worth of stuff. And I felt like I was at the mechanic. And it's the approach, right? It's just the approach. They don't hear it till they get there. And so that's one of the issues. And then there's the final issue of general fear. Whether it be from pain, from, everybody knows oral pain is terrible and it's scary and we don't know what's going on in there and we don't have our flashlight at home looking down to see what's actually going on. And we hear about people dying from infections from their mouth and then into their heart. So there's a general fear in the industry. And we also have a switch of patient models, right? We have a lot of young and elderly, a lot more Medicaid patients, so underserved communities. We also have a loss of a lot of the 19 to 64-year-olds, which shouldn't be an issue for a lot of you guys in here, but is an issue in general. And we also have a problem with some of the business models. We see a lot of corporations popping up, right? I see some heads nodding. And it's happening as well in my profession. I won't name any names because we might lose some ownership, but we have corporations that are popping up everywhere, and they're pushing small businesses out, and it's all about volume and not a lot about value. Right? We're losing the autonomy within our professions because we don't really get to be the judge of what gets done. And the reimbursements. Right? We hear about them all the time. And it's a problem. Because we're stuck here with this option. Treat and do what we're supposed to, or eat. Right? Because when you're getting paid 25% of what you're charging, it's really hard to afford new equipment and afford marketing and afford staff and overhead. It's very hard. So you have to pick the patients. And then as professionals in the healthcare industry, our goal is to help people, right? But it's very hard to eat when we don't get paid. And then we have this on top of our heads. Right, your average loan across the nation. And you guys are whispering like, yeah, right, that's not here. I got it, don't worry, I did this on purpose. Set myself up. But it's a beautiful thing. We're actually seeing healthcare change right now. We've actually seen ACOs be developed. Anybody know what ACO is? All right, we got a pharmacy student in the house. Accountable care organizations, where we're seeing team efforts, quality measures, quality care. Right? Why is it when we go to a hospital, you get to see 5 different doctors, all specialists, but you have to be that sick to have that treatment? But when you're outside, there's lack of communication, there's my territory, who's going to get paid? Whereas in this model, everybody eats. Right? Because it's a team effort and it's about quality measures. So the better the quality, the more the money. Now right now, dentists are actually working on fee-for-service plus incentives. So they're trying to ensure that those quality measures are becoming part of the mainstay. And we're seeing that young professionals are learning more about the business side of the profession. The business. Understanding the management. Understanding the overhead. And it's not just showing up to work. It's not just having the knowledge. It's about how you talk to people, how you shake a hand, how you approach people. What is your business? It's more than just the textbook or the tactical work you guys learn in labs. You know, it's funny that us millennials, who are just eager to work with each other nowadays, I was reading a magazine, a Forbes magazine, and there was a study that was produced. 88% of millennials prefer to work with others, collaborative workspaces. So you're starting to see that dentists, pharmacists, so forth, when they open their practices, they're opening together. Because of that big number of loans, and because of all the barriers that we're starting to see, it's more of a collaborative workspace. It's taking risk off each other and working together. The key is to find the right business partner. It's about utilizing technology that helps us save on that overhead cost. We have accounting apps like Xero that help us to lower our staff. Don't tell anybody here that I said that either, because I'll get some bad eyes for the hallway, but it helps us so we can open our practices up, so we can work with our patients and, again, eat. And we're starting to see that actually providers are opening up on the weekends more so. It's becoming something of, again, mainstay. We're using technology to allow our patients into our offices at any given time and reducing that barrier of fear by introducing them to our staff. By showing them all the technology that we have and showing them your unique space, creating comfort. And all of this leads to access to better care. And now what you're starting to see is young professionals join the voice. Be part of something bigger. Be part of legislation. So you want to talk about those Medicaid reimbursement rates? Or do you want to act about the medication reimbursement rate? Do you want to be a voice when those decisions are being made? See, as healthcare providers in general are very seldom to find in legislation, which is very sad because we're all very smart and we're letting others decide for us. But in order for us to figure out actually where our professions are going, we have to figure out who we are as professionals. Who are you? Who are each and every single one of you? And what makes you stand out? That's the biggest question, is what makes us stand out as individuals or a company? What makes us different? Because we know that doing the same thing over and over and over and over is just copying and pasting. And it's not getting us anywhere. We're not evolving. Right? So how do we stand out? Are we dressing the part? You know, it's funny that you think about it, and people judge each other so quickly these days, right? They say 60 to 90 seconds. I say 2. 2. It's called thin slicing. We thin slice people in 2 seconds because somebody walks in, you're not like, oh, I'm going to give this guy a chance. I don't know who he is. You're like, well, who is this dude? Because when you guys walked in, you guys were like, who is this dude? Yeah, I saw you. And depending on what app you have, it may be even quicker, but if we swipe left or right. Yeah, all the single people laughing. And are you practicing what you preach? You know, we don't want the cardiologist that smokes We don't want the overweight trainer. And we definitely don't want a dentist that has bad teeth. It's about practicing what we preach. It's truly, we want to create comfort, we want to create trust. What are we showing? We have to practice what we preach. We want to talk about being healthy. And we want to talk about our provider, to our patients, our providers telling our patients to be healthy. We need to be healthy ourselves. We need to take care of ourselves. Not only just for energy, and not just for focus and doing our job better. But I don't know, use statistics for this one. 1 out of every 4 dentists will be disabled by the time you reach retirement. That is a crazy statistic. And maybe it's the ADA trying to sell you insurance. I don't know. But the fact is, you got to take care of yourselves. Right? You got to take care of yourselves. And share your knowledge. Each and every one of you is so smart. And by the time you graduate, you're going to be so intelligent. And you need to share it. You need to share it. You need your voice. It's easy to be an expert in your field. Why? Because a lot of people in science are not willing to get up and speak. They're not willing to share it and connect. And you know what the biggest thing is? They may connect, and they'll sit here and read it off of PowerPoint, and you'll fall asleep. That's not how you engage, especially on a layman. We have to connect the way other people connect. Everybody's on their phones. We need to connect with them. Right? It's our marketing. But the difference is, in healthcare, there's 2 levels of marketing. One is the education. It's letting the people know what we have available. What is it that we're offering? We're not selling pizza, right? People know why they would want to buy pizza or not. We're selling a service. And the next is the sale. Why each and every one of you need it. The why. And what's sad is in healthcare, we think of the sale as a dirty word. Think of it as a car salesman trying to get you. But it's actually more so about leadership. But you have to think about this. You're telling your patient that they need to get something done. And there's an approach to it. Instead of saying, hey, we're going to get this done right now. You say, hey, listen, you need this done. And I'm not going to let you leave my office because I'm not going to test my integrity and let you leave my office without telling you what you need to get done. And you don't have to get it done here. But I need you to know it needs to get done because I truly care. That's your marketing. We can utilize that marketing through the ways that people connect. The blogs, getting the video out there. Letting people know that we're here. Right? So we already do it. We tell our patients, eat less sugar. Why? Because of less cavities, right? How about when you tell your patient, or a video telling masses, that if you eat less sugar, you reduce inflammation. See, there was a term coined by the Journal of Anesthesiologists, prehabilitation, which means rehabilitation prior to. And the reason is because the outcome of procedures are actually better. So a patient has less inflammation. That means what? Less pain. Isn't that a fear? The pain and the bleeding? Oh, less bleeding when they eat more whole foods, right? These are little things. We don't have to be experts in diet. These are little things that we can tell our patients. And it's along the same lines as eat less sugar because of less cavities. Same thing. This is our marketing pitch. This is our world. So where we living? And as many people say, oh, millennials are always on their phone and blah, blah. That's the world we live in. People have to adapt. And we have we're ahead of everybody. Because we're already utilizing it. You start to see that people are posting their Instagram photos with the teeth straightening. And what does this do right here? When I'm going on Instagram or Snapchat or whatever it may be, and I see this, I see confidence. I see a testimonial. I see patients that are saying, man, I feel so much better. And we are so attracted to inspiration. We're so attracted to positivity. We're so attracted to fear as well. And we saw what somebody was dealing with. And then we see what they have. And if you want to cater to those individuals that want the teeth whitening, and they want to be all bad and bougie, show off, you can cater to them too. Because they're on Instagram, and they're trying to show off. And you see that you can provide something for them to show off. And it's easy to connect. Because they say, this guy understands. But in order for us to be professionals, in order for us to be that person that we'd like our company to be represented with, we have to understand who we are personally. So you ask yourself the question, who are you? And what do you want in life? Each one of you is going to be different. Some of you are going to want the white picket fence with the 3 kids and maybe a dwarf donkey or horse or something, I don't know. But others may want to travel the world. Maybe you want to have a beautiful practice, or maybe you do want to work in corporate. But the point is you guys have such an opportunity right now to form the type of work-life relationship that you'd like. And as much as we see Google with the slides running through the corporations and people just scootering through the workspace and endless bowls of M&Ms and Skittles, it may seem as a stretch, right? It may seem as a stretch for our profession. But truly, we can have any type of practice we like. We have to fit. The reason I'm here today, the reason I work here, the reason is because I did exactly what I wanted to do. I traveled the nation, I worked in oncology, I worked in testing, I was a speaker for the Biggest Loser TV show, I was speaking at places like Johns Hopkins University, GE, because I wanted to. I planned that, and I made it happen. I created my job. They asked me what I wanted to do here, and I gave them a list. And I'm doing it. You can create your own. It's not far-fetched. It's about organization. It's about truly organizing yourself. You know, we have so many things to do, school, work, and at the end of the week, we're like, oh, I'm sorry, man, I've just been so busy. But when you look back, you don't really have a list of things that you can say you did. You know you took a test, you know you studied. You know you got some sleep, maybe. And you know that you made time, though, to go out, right? You made time to do the car washing and the haircut and all this other stuff. So it's about organization. You have it in your head. Sometimes it's just about putting it on paper. And turning that paper, that to-do list, into a success list. And finding where your most return on investment is. What's going to give you the most benefit? What's going to make your life move forward? Make your day less stressed and make you more happy? A lot of that is leading to opportunities. See, when we're organized and we know where we want to go, we can engage in others because we know what pieces we need. And those lead to opportunities. And we have more time for ourselves. Everybody asks me all the time, how do you have time for that? Because I get things done. Because I organize. And I do sleep. I love sleeping. But in order to have opportunities, you have to get uncomfortable. I don't care if you're the person in here that's like, oh, I'm going to have my dad's practice. That's cool. But guess what? The practice is changing. You're still going to have to be a manager. You're still going to have to understand the business. You're still going to have to innovate. So even if you do have the keys, you need to have the keys here. It's about being uncomfortable. We're resilient humans that are creatures in general. We're made for survival. But we get comfortable within our space. We get comfortable within our air conditioning rooms and our nice homes. And I see a lot of you driving up in nice cars. I try to keep up with y'all. We get comfortable. Sometimes if we have that opportunity to be at that comfort level, we can put our own stress on. That's awesome. We're putting our own stress. That means we can turn it off whenever we want. We have to stress ourselves. See, Tony Robbins writes, I cannot control the events that take place in my life, but I can control my reactions to them. It's crazy, right? Perfect example. Driving through University Drive and listening to your favorite tune, maybe it is Bad and Bougie, and you're driving and someone cuts you off, right? You're like, and the first thing you think is, right? You want to just throw up that angry bird at them. But that person drives off. They're not even thinking, oh man, oh my God, they're probably listening to Bad and Bougie too, just driving away. They don't care. They're not thinking about you, but you're stressed out. Oh man, I can't stand people. Instead of going, people are done, just continue to drive. We get stuck reacting. And we control that. We have that power to control that. That's the most amazing thing in the world. We have to figure out what our strengths and weaknesses are. This is a really important subject. You know, I think everybody in here is told, work on your strengths, right? Work on your strengths. Find out what your strengths are and work on them. We hear like people like Gary Vee saying stuff like that too. If anybody listens to Gary Vee. And it's funny, I've heard that my whole life. But when I was growing up, actually, I didn't know what my strengths were. I knew I played football, baseball, and wrestled. That's it. I didn't think any of those were going anywhere. So, definitely not football. But you realize that you got to find out who you are and find out your strengths and weaknesses. And I believe that you should build on your strengths and work on your weaknesses. Because let's say you're a very smart individual. You know how to get things done. You have a big project that's going to change the community. But you don't know how to work with people, or talk to people, or lead. Maybe that's an issue. Or maybe it's about building relationships. See, I worked on relationships so much throughout my life. And it wasn't easy. I think relationships, first of all, are the most important thing in life outside of food and water. They create joy. They create, in my eyes, true happiness. And there's actually studies done on relationships and positive relationships, how important they are. You could be the richest person in the world on an island by yourself, you're not going to be happy. You may have all the games and coolest things, but nobody to share with. It's not about having a significant other or, who you're going to go out with this weekend. It's more so about people that care for you and you care for them. You find affection, you find emotion. That's what keeps us going. Whether it be fear, whether it be problems, whether it be stress, whether it be happiness. See, I realized this at a young age that I had a problem with relationships. Because I grew up in a broken home. I grew up with an abusive father, abusive stepfather with alcohol in the house and just constant arguing. And we were moving around. I saw foster homes. We moved around constantly. And I always thought to myself, I don't want to talk to people because by the time I build something with them, I'm going to be gone again. And even if I do, they're not going to understand my life. They're not going to understand me. So why waste my time? And I kept it in. And I didn't realize till I was much older that relationships led to opportunities. They led to my success. When I engaged in others and I found quality in others and I said teamwork, it made sense to me. It felt good. And it made me work a lot less than I actually was before because I thought, I'm going to do it myself. That's it. I'm going to do it myself. But that wasn't leading me to anything. See us millennials? We're very ambitious, and passionate individuals that truly want to find purpose in life. But if we're going to be impervious to the unfavorable outcomes in our healthcare industry, you have to understand who we are, what qualities that we could bring to the table, and we have to ask ourselves a few questions. Are you willing to sacrifice? I've heard so much growing up, dude, you're going to lose out on your 20s. First of all, I'm 29 years old, and I can tell you, I'm probably the happiest person I've ever met. And I look myself in the mirror all the time. But it's true, I'm so happy. And people around me at work, they're like, you're like the nicest dude I know. And I look back and I'm like, wow, that's so crazy hearing that. That's so crazy because I sacrificed so many days of my life working on me, giving off weekends, working on me, working hard. Yeah, you know what? Maybe you don't go out every weekend. Maybe because Friday's happy hour, you don't do it this week. Maybe it's about investing into yourself rather than going on that trip because you're in school and you're like, oh, all my friends are doing it. You have to ask yourself, what are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to give up? You guys may think because you're in school right now that, hey, have a great time. Right now you could be building on something way bigger. I wish I would have known that when I got out, how these opportunities I can make into monetary benefits and success. I could have been working on that in school if I would have had somebody like myself tell me all I had to do was give something up and pick on a list of things to give up. All you got to do is one, you might have 10. Just start with one small thing. And ask yourself, are you ready to fail? Michael Jordan says, I fail over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. Failure is part of our DNA. We're supposed to fail. Failing doesn't make you a failure. It makes you stronger. It makes you so much more smarter because you know what you did wrong. You have an opportunity to review your own analytics. It's really easy to say why you did something right or wrong. Why you failed. Did I give something my all? Or was it not my time? Were these not the right people to work with? And take that experience and apply it somewhere else. See, our goal in life should truly be about what defines us. We have to figure out what defines us. Who are we? Again, asking yourself that question. What are you willing to do? What makes you unique? What defines you? And finally, what do you want to leave here? Do you want it to be a legacy? Do you want people to know you for certain things? What do you want to be known for? And how are you going to accomplish that? Thank you, everybody.